What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not
Not
podcast.
their podcast.
Presented by
our damn selves.
32.
2:32.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just getting up. You slept all through Sunday. Hopefully you fell back. You know, clocks go back. Didn't they say that they were canceling Central? They say it was going to be permanent daylight. I thought, or did I imagine? I thought the government voted on that. I guess it didn't make it all the way through. Like, I guess the president never signed this shit.
I thought
maybe
they said something.
Maybe it happened during Trump and shit, and then Biden just forgot he is old. Like, he might have just forgot to sign the shit. I don't know. It could have been that. I don't know. But I do remember them.
Daylight saving.
We're going to have permanent daylight.
I vaguely remember.
I remember that happening. It's like, like the Congress votes to permanently stay on daylight. But it was that, like daylight saving is when you go forward.
Right.
Daylight saving is just like when you move the clocks. Now, daylight saving is from, was it February? April until now. It's like
November, April to November. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now when you go back, that's standard time.
That's the standard time, yeah.
People think daylight, they think it's like, we on daylight saving. No, we're coming out of daylight saving. Like,
we come out of daylight saving.
Daylight saving time ends. It says
ended, right.
So that's what, you coming out. Just the way the easier to remember is like, when do you have more daylight? When it's warm out. That's the easiest.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's for those that are like endowed. Yeah, daylight saving is when you have more daylight, and that's when it's warm out.
Think about what savings is.
You have less daylight.
Yeah, think about what savings is. Like when you put money in a savings account, you're saving money. You're putting money in, so you want to put more daylight in. So if you think about it like that,
with the
that makes sense. Yeah,
summer is more. Yeah. And then when it's cold out, you have shorter days. So you have less daylight. So yeah.
I know it's that my kids, when I was taking them to school, they're like, "Mommy, it's still dark." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "It's going to be dark." I said, "Because we're in these winter months. We're going winter now, almost. Like it's going to be dark in the morning we go to school, baby. It's just going to be dark outside."
Definitely feel good about that extra hour. Yeah, that's one thing I was happy about that. It didn't stay permanent because we got that extra hour. Yeah, so feeling all.
You getting older when you look forward, like, yes, an extra hour of sleep. Yes.
Whereas back in the day, like I'd be like, extra hour, we get extra hour to party. Yeah, we stand out an extra hour. Now that's what it was like back in the day. Yeah,
I've been in the club on daylight savings. I went in there. I've been in the club.
That shit, yeah.
I've been. I know you have. Yeah, I've been in the club on some of those nights. Yeah.
The DJ be like, "Yeah, we got an extra hour to party, so we ain't closed for another hour."
But you look at your watch, you're like, okay, like 1:58, 1:59. And 1 o'clock.
Yes.
And you start partying, and
now you look forward to that extra hour of sleep. Well, I'm ready to get into this. Let's start doing some tragic stuff. I don't want to start on a bad note and shit. So we're gonna start. Have you checked out the Drink Champs episode with Mr. Kanye West, or I should say with Ye? He legally changed his name
with Mr. Ye.
Yeah, he's Ye.
I have not checked it out, but I've seen some blurbs.
Yes.
Now he's Ye.
Yeah, he's.
I've seen some blurbs, but not the whole interview. I've seen some blurbs.
The whole thing earlier today. As
was it like 2 hours or something?
2 hours, something like that.
Because Kanye, you put a mic in front of him, he's just Kanye.
I said it before, I say it again. Anytime you put a mic in front of that dude, is always fascinating. Like Kanye, I'm putting it out there. I'm gonna manifest this shit. Kanye is gonna appear on this podcast. That's one of my bucket lists. I want to sit down and interview Kanye. Because like I've had friends that interviewed him. Shout out Ferris, shout out Kendra, Leon.
We're gonna put it out there.
Yeah. I got friends that have had a sit down. And when I say sit, I mean
you from the Shy. Come on. You from the Shy, say you like the South Shore Drive. We know, we ride past it. We know where it is. Like we ride past. We know. I know where the Donda House is. Yeah.
Whether it's TMZ from a few years back, whether it's a sit down with Charlamagne.
Maybe it's a choice.
When Charlamagne went out to Wyoming, that was a good one. Like I said, when Leon and Kyle and Kendra, when he cried with Kendra, that was a good one.
When he was running for the presidency and he talked about the abortion, it was like, huh? what? Like, wait, what?
He sat down with Ferris. He talked about how Chicago treated him. It's always fascinating. Whether or even going back in the day when he sat down with how you ain't got the answer, Sway. How Sway when he sat down
how
with
Sway.
Remember that? How Sway? Like he went off playing.
When he stole his footage from when they punked him on MTV when Ashton punked him. And then he took it. This is my film. I paid for it. He was running down the street with his film. This is my film. I paid for it.
Like the ones that went wrong are Kanye and Shaq. They actually had Shaq tried to kill a motherfucker too.
Shaq was going to beat the brakes off that guy.
Like, it was a joke.
Shaq was going to beat the brakes off that dude.
That's the two punks that went wrong.
Even his wife was like, "Baby." Shawty was like, "Baby, wait." Shawty was like, "Wait, baby." She was trying to catch him.
But guess what I did?
But Kanye.
I don't know if you can see that, but probably not. Yeah, you kind of see it's a lot of notes. I took on that. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I took a lot of notes.
I was a student today.
Yeah. So I was in the car listening, and I was like, we definitely got to talk about Drink Champs.
Because Kanye is one of these people where it's never going to be a 10-minute thing. Kanye's going to talk for like 3 hours and 45 seconds.
Last year when he sat down with Joe Rogan, that's another good one. The Joe Rogan episode. Yeah, I think that was like 3 hours when he talked. It was he's
going to talk for 3 hours and 45 seconds. That's what he's going to do.
I think him and Rogan talked for like 3 hours. I want to say something like that. But it's always fascinating whenever Kanye is in front of a microphone. First fascinating, he said right after he said that, technically, he said he has no house. Technically, he's homeless right now. Because you remember the settlement, like because the Calabasas house the Kim got that.
Cam and the kids died.
His half out of it. It was like I forgot how many. It was a lot, like 20-something million, whatever it was. Like
they're both billionaires because Kim is a billionaire now.
She gave him over $20 million to buy him out, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both billionaires, so they have money. Yeah.
But he does. He has land, but no house because he still owns all the land in Wyoming that he got. But he's like his goal eventually, he says, is to be bigger than money. Like Kanye. He's always on some shit like that. I like to build relationships so you don't need money because you get to a certain level. It's like people like, oh no, your money's no good. It's like, yeah. Like, need a room? Like, come on, yeah, come stay. Yeah, we give you.
Okay, I mean that's not.
Kanye is always thinking ahead.
That's not. I was like, damn a Bitcoin, damn a cryptocurrency. This is what I'm trying to do, right?
He's like, I built relationships. Let me read what exactly. I built relationships, not money. It's like he's on that, yeah. So basically, your money's no good because it is when you get to a certain level. Like shout out Byron Bowie told me that back in the day. I think you know that name. They don't know who the hell he is, but yeah, that Chicago OG told me back that. Yeah, he's like he said you don't pay for nothing. Yeah. This is when I was new to entertainment at the time. I was a wannabe musician at the time. Yeah, trying to get my foot in the door. He was like,
it is right. Yeah, because you had your band, you had your jazz quintet at that time. You had your quintet.
Me and Craig Robinson's brother.
Yeah, I was like Craig Robinson's brother.
That's going in my book. That whole era. Yeah.
Shout out Chris.
That's the homie right there. But back in the day Kanye was saying, he wants to be on that level. I was talking about Byron Bowie. I'm all over the place now. Like listening to Kanye, I start talking like him. There you go. Because Kanye do be you got a real
Kanye experience.
You got to reel him back in and say
Kanye experience.
But he's like, you just get to a certain level. It's like, if you want to go, to a concert, it'd be like, okay, I get you tickets. Yeah. You need a room, I got you. Yeah, like whatever you need. It's like you go to a bar, like it's on us. Yeah, like Kanye is on that mindset. He's like, where money is like your money is no good. Like I'm trying to.
I can dig that. I can dig that. Okay.
As far as those,
I'm feeling that so far. I'm feeling it.
As far as one of those wondering about vaccines, he says he's half vaxxed. That means he got one shot. He never got back for a second shot. He said, so I'm half vaxxed. Yeah. So that's where he is right now as far as the vaccines. He got his first shot. And I guess he just didn't have time to go back for a second one or whatever.
He's Kanye. So, I mean, he's Kanye.
Of course, the big question, they asked him, like, would he do a versus? He said, absolutely. There's really only two names that he could battle. Like, you probably can guess them. Like, I guessed them easily. Yeah, really only two names.
Diddy.
Huh?
Diddy.
Diddy maybe on the production side because Kanye could do. He could do. He said that. I forgot to mention that. Kanye said he could do a whole. Like he said, after y'all got to have me on the show about 4 times because I do a production.
I said the production side, Diddy.
Well, on the rap
Diddy
side, on the rap side,
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z and Drake.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Jay-Z and who? Yeah, Jay-Z.
That's the only ones he really said Drake. He said he wouldn't battle Jay because like Jay is like
that's his brother. That's
his brother, basically.
That's his brother, yeah. So
really like
some Cain and Abel type stuff, yeah. So
he's like, we do a verse that Drake is the one he definitely, and that would be probably the best verses of all time. Like I'll definitely be watching that one. Have Jay and Drake win. I mean, if Ye and Drake went at it, that would be
Ye and Drake. Yeah. Drake. Yeah. Like I said, production side, I say Diddy. Like I said, because I was thinking of production side. I say Diddy for production.
He calls Diddy his twin or whatever he said. Actually, yeah, because they kind of mirror each other. They both people like fuck with him about being like metrosexual type. Yeah, like, it's like so like on that, yeah, like he says like that's like his
and not being funny, they were known to have a baddie on them. Because Diddy always had a baddie. He always had a baddie with him. He always did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From Ken, rest in peace, all the way up to Cassie. He always had a baddie. Diddy always had a bad one with him. Always.
And whether it's Kim, whether it's Amber Rules, is like he always has.
He always had a baddie. Even his fiance, Alexis Pfeiffer, his first fiance.
Talked a little bit about her, and I forgot, but he mentioned his Chicago days with her. He did give Drake his props. He said Drake added to the algorithm of hip hop. He said before Drake came along, he said Drake was like the first sophisticated rapper, is what he called it, because Drake doesn't, which is what a lot of my dudes like my age, whatever they say, like Drake is corny, you're like soft and that kind of.
Drake is like not being. Hope we don't make it
sophisticated rapper.
Drake is Canadian. He is Canadian, so maybe there's that. Canadians move a little different than Americans. They move a little different. So, and he was on Degrassi, so I mean, he moves a little different than other dudes. I mean, he does. Like you could tell Drake didn't like grow up in the projects and sell drugs. You could tell he didn't.
You said that Drake added to the.
He just did, you know.
He does consider Drake one of the greatest of all time because of that. He said because he actually added. You do got to give somebody their props. It's like if something was going a certain way and then you come in and then it changes course, like which Drake did. He's like the first sophisticated rapper.
Hence why NWA made a mark, because they made it gangster. They were the first ones to do that gangster rap. They were the first ones to do that and to pioneer that. So they came straight out Compton, crazy motherfucker, and they came out like that.
Another nice little nugget he talked about with he says his favorite rapper of all time is Nas, but Jay-Z won that battle though. But here's why Jay won, because he said because Jay was able to adapt. He said, and I guess Ye was probably biased because of the Chicago thing, because Jay can do the Chicago stuff. He said, like on Is That Your Chick? Yeah, don't get mad at me. I don't love him. Come on, he was like,
and then even on
Nas can't do that. So like Jay was able to.
Jigga who? He was doing it on Jigga what? He was rapping on Jigga what? I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, all right.
He definitely mentioned, Is That Your Chick? That big bad could probably be big for every Jay-Z. She was all on my dick, like he was like doing the Chicago. But Nas could never do that, adapt to that. So that's why Jay won. Because Nas couldn't adapt to that. But he said, with Jay, like I guess he said in so many words, but not actually, like when Jay started, I guess, falling off probably was when he put out the death of Auto-Tune. Yeah. And because Auto-Tune never died. It's like, but Jay did put out Death of Auto-Tune. But
I remember that. That was like,
after that,
that was like 2009, because I remember they played it at my reunion. It was like 2009 when Death of Auto-Tune was out. Yeah, I remember
Auto-Tune got even bigger. Then you had like Future and like guys like that. Like
the mumble rap became a thing. Migos.
Killing Auto-Tune when he really didn't. It really just
and even R&B singers do that. All stuff so that's how all music sounds now. It all sounds like that now to me. So it didn't kill Auto-Tune. So I mean, he has a valid point with that. Has a valid point.
Kim is still his wife, technically.
That's the blur about her, is that Kim is still my wife.
We didn't sign anything yet. Yeah.
He said, I never seen no papers. That's what he said. And I have to give Kanye this, because sometimes Kanye, I feel like he dips into the the Calabasas talks like somebody. He's like, "Hi, I'm Kanye," and he sometimes talks like
Drink
that.
Champs, I'm gonna say it. He was a real nigga on Drink Champs.
Drinks, Drinks
And
Lucy.
he with Nori and
he probably had some Hennessy in the cup. Yeah. I mean, it was some dark liquor in that cup.
Real comfortable with cats on that shit.
Because when I heard he was like, "Yeah," he's like, "I ain't seen no papers," like the way he said. I was like,
"I ain't seen no papers."
I ain't seen no papers. The way he said, "I ain't seen no papers." Sounded straight up like some of the dudes on 79.
And he said you got to give her props as well too for like changing culture. He said his wife, he said Kim changed beauty standards for white girls, which she did. He said white girls went from having no ass to now like getting their asses done. It's like, yeah, Kim kind of contributed to that. Yeah. So I was like, yeah. I said I can see that. Yeah. She made the big booty popular with the white girls. I definitely can see that.
Mm-hmm. The what's it called? The BBL Brazilian butt lift. That's what the girls are getting now. The BBLs. Yeah.
To Future, I mentioned them, said the most influential rapper of the last decade. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I guess because Future, like he kind of popularized the mumble rap thing. So he kind of popularized that. He gave Soulja Boy props for being influential as well. So what's the guy that started the whole Drake?
I'm gonna say Soulja Boy. He was like it was like
he's a modern day Little Richard to me.
and I'm gonna go on a limb here. It wouldn't be no TikTok challenges if it wasn't Soulja Boy out there to go.
Soulja Boy started the fucking challenge. Yeah,
he started the TikTok challenge before. Like Crank That was the first TikTok challenge before TikTok. It was.
Here's one. Here's one that hurt my feelings because of a story. I like Kanye all the time when I met him way back when. He said he didn't really like the song "Touch the Sky." So technically, I said Kanye took a shot at me in this interview because remember I told him how dope the song was. He said he didn't really, because I guess he liked more of his lyrical stuff. That was more of a banger, that one.
But yeah, because I like the horns.
He didn't like that. He didn't like Gold Digger. He really didn't like the party record, so to speak. But he mentioned.
And then I know why you liked it.
I was like, I remember telling him because I tell the story again. I've told this 1,000 times. I'll tell the story again. When Kanye, he was at the Crawford at Power 92 Studios, and we were listening to the Late Registration album. Before it came out, it's like a week before it released, so we heard the album before it was even out. He was previewing it for us in the studio, and then we were like, and that Gold Digger was already out, biggest banger.
Was already banging, yeah.
Banger on the radio. He was like, the next single was going to be Heard Him Say.
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine, thank you. I was gonna say the Maroon 5 guy, but yeah,
Adam Levine. Yeah. You know I like Maroon 5. You know I like them.
And everybody else in the room, like they all like, because people are yes men, especially in our city. I call it. They're like, oh, okay, that's what's up. I was like, it's all right.
I might touch the sky.
They looked at me like that. And I was like,
fire in church.
And I was like, I like Touch the Sky much better than her. Yeah. And the only one that didn't look at me in the room was Ye. Like all of my coworkers, of course, the producer out there, y'all know the super producer. I don't want to, but y'all know who the super producer is. She looked at me, the record rep, evil eyed me, like they all looked at me. But Kanye was the only one to say, okay. And Touch the Sky became a single, but
and a couple of things that I know that you liked about Touch the Sky. You like the horns and you like Lupe, because Lupe, that was like another Chicago connection because you had Lupe. And I like Lupe's verse. Guess who's on third? Whatever he said. Who's on third? Yeah, I like the way he came in with his verse.
On the third verse. That's why he said yes.
Yeah. Who's on third? Who's on? Yeah, you get Abbott Costello. So I was like, I thought he was pretty cool on there, Lupe.
Here's another controversy. He said Bone Crusher put the Atlanta sound on the map. I'm like, that's interesting. You think about that?
I ain't never scared.
That was that record was huge. Yeah,
it was.
And after that, that's when T.I. and all of those guys and that Jeezy like that, they started blowing up after that. So I'm like, that's fair. Because one like Never Scared was what 03, something like that. I want to say.
Yeah, that was like near the end of my college days. Because I remember we joked. We said we were gonna roll up.
I wasn't that popular in 03 and Jeezy wasn't.
No, 04, 04 is when he really started riding.
That's when he really popped. But T.I., he really wasn't. He was all right in 03.
Yeah, because 24th had just came out around that time, but he really wasn't. It really wasn't, yeah. But then when Rubber Band Man, Wild is the Taliban, when that came out, then it's like, okay.
He said he talked about Planned Parenthood but and the whole like basically like it was, which like people have said all over and over that it was a plot to like kill black babies. Like I've heard that many a time, like from the lady that started, even they said she was a racist and like that's why the whole Planned Parenthood. He talked on that. Remember he when he was talking about with Kim and like abort. Did she abort or she wanted to abort? But North, she almost aborted North.
Yeah, they were talking because he said that they were just they weren't in a relationship per se. They were just really kind of dating, kind of together, but not really. And the pregnancy was unplanned, basically. So it's like we're not together like that. Do we want to have this baby? Like, what are we doing? And he said she had considered doing it, but then she decided against it.
Yeah. Then the thing they do on drink camps, they do the either or, like where they ask you you like Jay-Z or Nas and shit. Yeah, and you gotta if you say you gotta pick one of them. If you say both or neither, you gotta take a shot. That's what they have. But yeah, so you say both, then yeah, that's why you gotta make a decision. You gotta take a shot. So like one he like went hard on his ass and like Common or Talib Kweli. You know, like they both like early in his career.
Okay, yeah.
And they both were on hit him high.
Yeah.
Early in his career, they were both influential. And here's what's interesting. He said Common is 1,000 times better than Kweli. He kind of buried Kweli in this thing. I don't know what happened with them, but I guess him and Ye and Kweli ain't tight.
Okay, I was expecting to go the other way, but not saying that Common, like I said, because I would have picked Common too, because Chicago, we ride with Chicago. We ride with each other.
And I would have thought because most people, the average like backpack
lyricist
probably say Kweli, yeah.
Kweli. That's why I thought Kanye was going to say Talib, because you know how people be like, well, Talib is a lyricist, Common I thought he was going to do that. I was like, I hope he says Common not. And when he said it was 1,000 times, I'm like,
Common 1,000 times better than Kweli. He said, I never liked the way Kweli rapped and all of that. He said, Mom, and most people would rather be me than Kweli. So I want, he said, like, ask the average person, they'd rather be Ye than Kweli. So, yeah. So he kind of shitted all over Kweli. I was like,
yeah, it's clearly something happened between them.
Because Kweli was the first cat to take him on tour, like before Kanye was on. When Kanye was trying to get on, and then he took him on tour with him. Like 02-ish or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what happened in the last 20 years, but I guess they don't fuck with each other now. Whatever happened, his Ye shitted all over Kweli in this thing. And then he said one thing he didn't with Common. He said he don't like the way Common capes for the Democrats. We're gonna talk a little bit more about politics. I don't know if you saw these blurbs and shit, but he was going hard on a couple of cats as far as that. Yeah.
I didn't see the blurbs about the
Common. He didn't bury him like he did a couple of other guys. I'm gonna get to in a minute.
Well, Common did do Selma. He won the Oscar for Selma, so maybe it started seeping in at that point.
He said his mom's job, but I said like because his mom chose money over family basically. So you mentioned with Donna when she took the job at Chicago State University.
At Chicago State. Mm-hmm.
And that's what she moved her and Kanye to Chicago then, like during that season. Like, yeah, so her mom separated me from my dad. Yeah, you never hear about Kanye's dad. Think about that. All you hear about is Don.
So what was he born? He was born where?
Kanye was born in Atlanta. He moved to Chicago. When he
was that's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
They asked him Big Sean or Pusha T was another one, the either or. He said, I'm gonna say this right now, Big Sean is the worst signing ever did. So that's one of the cats he's shitting all over is Big Sean. I was
gonna say I like ass.
Mention the ass song. Yeah, your legacy is ass.
I like that song. Now make that mother could have a tie.
Here's why he don't like Sean, I think, because when Kanye started, wearing the red hat and was running for president, Sean was one of them cats that shitted on him. And
Sean said, "I don't fuck with you."
He said, "Oh, you little stupid ass bitch! I ain't fucking
with you."
Naya Rivera.
He said to her, yeah.
Said it about Ye. Said so basically, so he still got beef with Sean. And he said the other one that came for him, like we really shitting on another cat from early in his career, John Legend. And I was like, I definitely see John Legend, because John Legend is is definitely part of that. As
part of it,
as Kwame Brown would say, part of that go along, get along game.
Part of it is his wife, because his wife is very opinionated and she's very outspoken, and she's
definitely I can see her having an influence on him about shit like that, about politics and Kanye and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
because she be, and he just be. Sometimes he needs to just tell her, baby, get off of Twitter. He just needs to tell her, get off of Twitter, baby. Like just get off. Like you know your chick is mouthy, you know that she like just, babe, let's go take a walk. I
got either or personal one. Chrissy Teigen or Aisha Curry was one you like least. Don't say too much to me, but we'll move on. I'm not answering that. I'm moving on.
I say Chrissy for me. I say I'll answer.
I'm not answering that shit. Yeah, so I don't want to shit on them women, but But he said both Big Sean and John Legend basically like shit on him for like to once again the cape for the Democrats. Like, yeah, he said and Kamala, who we ain't seen since the election, which is a point. Like, yeah, I can't name anything Kamala has done since election day. Last time I saw her was when she was taking the oath. Like, I don't remember anything she's done since that.
But to be fair, it's like she's the vice president. The vice president really doesn't have real. Not saying they don't have power, but you know what I mean. It's like the vice president is kind of like, in case the
he was talking about how hard black folks went. He was like, he said black women voted like 95% for the Democrats. Yeah, and you ain't seen it. Well, you know, like Kanye. You know, Kanye.
But that's to be fair. It's like when did we see Mike Pence? Like when we saw Trump, we didn't see Mike Pence. We didn't see him, except with the fly on his head. We didn't see him. I'm just saying, like the vice president doesn't have the power that you think that they have, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, if you look at politics, the vice president is kind of like, they're ornamental sometimes, they are.
But he had a point, too.
Yeah, I said, to be fair, you know, they do things that the president doesn't want to touch, basically. It's like, hey, go to, I don't want to be over here. Go to this ribbon cutting thing over there. That's what they basically send them there. For stuff that I'm too busy to do, you go over there and do that. That's basically what they do.
Here's another either or. They asked him. It says as far as just CEOs, like not talking about anything else. So Dame Dash or Jay is like which one is like as far as CEOs. You know who he said?
Dame
Dash. Yeah, Dash did put him on. Yeah, he said basically Jay said I'm a combination of Dame Dash and Jay-Z. He said himself. So I'm like Dame Dash with money. Basically, like
I took the best parts of both of them and put the best parts of both. Yeah.
Because he got Dash's hustle, and then as an artist like Jay, it's like, so I could definitely see combine those two. He said he owes Beanie Siegel. He got to throw him some money because Beanie came up with the name Yeezy. I'm like, okay, yeah. So definitely give. So
Beanie Siegel was listening to Drink Champs like.
That's what he said. Like said, always like he was like, I'm definitely gonna hear from him now. Yeah, he said, I've been trying to get at him for a while, so I know I'm definitely gonna hear from him now.
You know, he's probably drawing up papers. If he hasn't went to an attorney, he's probably drawing up papers like, see, evidence here. I'm owed $20 million. Give me $20 million now.
Copycats, he said that Just Blaze was a ripoff of him. I was like, I can see that. The Just Blaze sound was the Kanye sound. The Kanye sound came first, then the Just Blaze sound. I can see that. That. Like, especially that Kanye sound from that era, that early 2000s.
Kanye,
Just Blaze like did kind of rip that off. I'm like, I could see that definitely. Let's see. And the most controversial shit. Like, we ready to go there? Let's go there.
Boy.
You know, Kanye is always gonna say something about slavery and all that shit. It's like, if you ain't heard it, you about to hear it now.
Lord,
he said,
Lord, let me prepare myself. He
said, Black Twitter, get ready to cancel me. Like he was like, yeah. He said, cancel Black History Month. Focus on Black future is what he was saying. No, yeah. So that's what. So why is us Black people? We always talking about the fire hoses and slavery and all of that. We always talk about the pain. It's like, why can't we talk about where we going. It's like, and why does Black history start with slavery? He said, why don't we talk about when we were kings and queens in Africa? So he did say that.
That part I do agree with. My thing is
always the slave ships in 1619. He said that's where Black history.
My thing is you can find beauty and stuff because it is a lot of stories that haven't been told. Like, we still have yet to see a Black Wall Street. I want to see a movie documentary. I want to see something about Black Wall Street. Sometime within the next 10, 15 years. I want to see something within the next 10, 15 years. I want to see it.
Years ago, I think it was
I want to see it.
I think it was Charlemagne. I forget which interview. It might have been when he was sat down with Charlemagne in Wyoming. I think it might have been that one. When they were talking about, the Harriet Tubman $20 bill, which like that.
Yeah.
How long that been on the docket for years? I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but he's been talking about that shit for like 10 years at least. Yeah. So he said, why we always Black people with slavery? Like, why can't you put somebody like Jordan on the $20 bill? Why does that have to be Harriet Tubman? He's talking. Yeah, this is years ago.
They typically put people who have died on a bill, so there's that. It's called dead presidents to be like it's dead presidents. Dead is the operative word.
I got one. Why not Martin Luther King?
Okay.
That's my suggestion. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I can G.
That's an Oz line. That's not a yay line.
Okay. But my thing is,
Black always comes back to slavery. He didn't like.
And then also with that, the other thing is like I forget the name of it now, but it was like this Black family that owned, like it was like a beach in California. They owned like a resort type thing, and like racist, and basically like they basically stole their land for them, took it, and then basically now it's like they're just now getting like oh yeah, we fucked up. I think they're like their descendants. They're trying to get them like restitution, so they're trying to do something like now to like make it right. And this happened like in the 20s or 30s. This happened like 100 years ago. So my thing is, I think that showing a history, as far as like show your history where you know, I say don't be like, don't dwell on like the negativity, but show that, hey, we ain't going back to this ain't like this. But another thing to show out of what I do like about a history of that, you saw in Black Wall Street, we were bankers, we had our land, we were entrepreneurs, we had all this beauty. And to show that, like, if you can do that beauty in Jim Crow South and do all that, then
I guess that's what he's saying.
Look what you can do now. Like they had
Black people worry more about the future.
They had all type. My thing is they had all type of obstacles. Again, not saying we don't have obstacles now. You know what I'm saying, but they had all type of stuff. Real obstacles. They had all type of obstacles back then, and they still were able to rise above all that. Like all the stuff that Black people invent, they were able to rise above and to create all this amazing stuff. And then it's focus. I said that's the stuff I want to focus on in history. I want to focus on that, not the we're in chains. Not that. I'm talking about focusing on the excellence, like showing that we rose above that and we accomplished stuff. So imagine what we can do now. Like now that we have where we can move around better, look what we can accomplish now. That's what my focus. That's more like where I'm focused at. Is that.
Well, check it out. Drink Champ.
I'm gonna check it out if I can.
Podcast just like our podcast. Yeah. Listen to it in parts if you have to. Like I said, it's about 2 hours. I listened while I was driving. That's why I was able to. Yeah, I was.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
because you got a long drive.
Time in your car, I was like, I'm gonna listen to some. Yeah, and then when I get back in, I put it back on. Just so I was like, yes, I was able to listen to the whole thing while I was out.
I might do that because like sometimes I have to drive far for work. Sometimes, so if I might on an hour commute. If I'm on an hour commute for work, then I might do that. Yeah, I might do that then.
Wherever you get all the stuff we shout out to the end of our podcast, you can find it. The Drink Champs the same way. Yeah, how we shout out how you find us. It's like, yeah, find us on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, tune in, so you know how we do that.
Yeah, how we drop it. Yeah,
I'm saying go ahead.
Well, Mr. West, you definitely made a statement, Mr. West. Is he still Mr. West, or is he just now?
He's now.
Okay. So he's on his Prince shit basically now. Prince became the symbol.
Talked a little bit about Prince. Yeah, he said the song Jail he got from Prince. I was like, it does sound like a Prince song. You know, the Guess Who's Going to Jail Tonight. You know, the first track on the Dundal. Yeah, first song.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I could see and It does have a Prince vibe. I could definitely see Prince.
And then they're both Gemini. So
he was talking about like the best goats are Gemini. He did say most of the goats are Gemini. I guess he made Prince, Tupac himself.
With the exception of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a Virgo, so.
And that's one he took a shot for because they asked him like Prince or Michael Jackson. Say, yeah, I'm gonna take a shot. I'm not choosing. I guess he took a shot for that one.
That is a tough one.
He's
that is one like
on that one.
Purple Rain and Thriller is like You can never.
I always give my same answer. Michael Jackson goat as far as performers. Prince goat as far as musician.
Straight. But nobody fucking with Prince musician wise, and nobody fucking with Prince musically. No one. Dead or alive, no one's fucking with Prince musically. No one. And you could quote me on that all day. That's where I stand at. And then go as far as entertainment, Michael Jackson go all day. Anybody who can put on a jacket and a hat and a glove and then do this and have the audience just go crazy, is a goat to me. So hey, he would just get and just put the jacket. He wouldn't even say that. He would just get the jacket, get the glove.
The coolest thing was you saw when he performed at the Super Bowl. Was it 92 or something like that? Whatever year that was, 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3, I think.
He just pops out of the ground and then he's just standing there like
this
for about like 2 or 3 minutes, and the crowd's just going crazy. And then when he goes and then he just moves one time, they go even louder. Like Michael Jackson's the only one that can do that shit. I just stand there like a statue for like 2 minutes, and then like just turn his head, and then they get even fucking louder. I said, I felt the Michael Jackson energy at the BET Awards. Grown men reduced to tears. I saw that shit. Michael! Like men and shit. That's crazy. Yeah.
Your girl be doing the pose now. Beyonce be doing the pose. She be standing doing the pose.
She got it from Mike. She learned from the best.
Because Beyonce just stands there, and then the fan be blowing. Her hair is just flowing. She's like,
Beyonce is the greatest performer today. Like I'll say, yeah.
And she just posed there, and then the audience is the beehive is they like that.
All right, let's move on to a story. I don't know if you heard about this one as we wrap up. Yay. Very interesting. Drink Champs. Check it out. We talked almost as long as the interview. Our podcast was almost as long. We well over 30 minutes in, and all we talked about was Kanye.
Hey, well, it was a 2.
Probably could have got a whole hour just on that.
To our credit, it was a 2-hour podcast, so we had to delve into it.
A lot, yeah.
We had to dissect it. So,
all right, I'm gonna share this one a story. I don't know if you heard this. This is gonna hurt your feelings because you're a fan of this one. Here we go. Looks like
no.
It's a lot of it's nothing confirmed, but people pay attention to what's going on. So let's read through with this. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It said, according to one insider, who partied with Megan, like she was not wearing her ring, and then she was, Halloween, she was dressed very sexy during that. So yeah, and basically,
Megan Good's body's on point. 40, like shout out for the women who over 40 and over with banging body, 40 and over.
It said Devon was in a whole nother city, like when this was going on. So yeah,
so she was in Los Angeles, he was in Atlanta
during Halloween. Yeah. And she said she's
and then you're at a party like,
and she's like, single. Yeah, she's like dressed.
It's one thing if you take off your ring while you're cooking or whatever, but you're not going to a party without that. You better have this on when you go to your party. You're not
without that, and you're dressed, you're scantily clad too. Is like, it's a lot going on. Here's what I think. Like my theory about that. For those that my listener didn't see, like Megan Good and her husband Devon Franklin, who's is he a director? I know he's a pastor, but I know he's some kind of a position in Hollywood.
He's in film because they met on the set of
the director of
Jumping the Broom. They met on Jumping the Broom. That's how they met. They met on Jumping the Broom.
He's a director or a producer or something like that.
He was something, yeah. Behind the scenes. Yeah, behind the scenes.
Yeah. And he's a pastor as well too. So it looks like things aren't going good. Here's my theory of that. What happened is Megan Good, no offense, like she's a certain type of woman, and she tried to adapt to his lifestyle, but in the end, like you're gonna be who you are. You can't fake it forever and shit. Like, and that's no shade at Megan, but she's as the kids say, like she's kind of for the streets. Like she's like how she was before she got with dude. Is like she's kind of.
And that crowd is very judgmental.
You can fake it long enough, but yeah. Eventually, you're gonna be who you are at the end of the day.
And that crowd is very judgmental. They can be very judgmental. Because I remember,
Megan, like I said, 40 years old, like, yeah, you could relate to that. Yeah. Very, not ugly, she's very attractive.
Yeah, we're the same age, me and Megan. But I remember one time in particular, I think it was like the BET, it was some awards show. I want to say BET. And like she was coming out to present Best Gospel Album or something. I think her and Lala. I think it may have been her and Lala. I want to say.
What a combination.
I think it was Lala. I think it may have been Lala.
Came out and presented for Best Think Like a Man. Fucking that's what they were besties in that. Remember that?
And when she came out, Megan had on a tight dress and like it was like low cut and like the breasts were
Megan,
up.
like she's not ugly, like big ass.
Yeah, the breasts were up and the church crowd just went. They just.
I can't. I'm not gonna even ask what Lala was wearing, but continue.
She was just wearing something like like a regular gown. It wasn't like Stanley. Yeah, but it was like a regular, maybe like a one shoulder, like but it was like like the regular evening red carpet gown, like that, like the regular red carpet
one,
gown.
Like 40ish, she's over 40 as well. Yeah.
She's around 40. I think she turns 40 this year coming up. I think she'll be 40. 40. Yeah, she's like 39. Yeah.
Her and Megan are around the same age.
Yeah, they're like 40. Yeah, they're like 40-year-old ladies, attractive 40-year-old women. Yeah, and yeah, so like the church crowd, they were just being just so judgmental, and then even at one of Devon's things or whatever, when they were trying to talk and they were trying to, and you're white, like one of the people, like they said, one of his sermon, whatever it was, like it's an event that he was having, and he had to basically put the person in their place, like you're not going to disrespect my wife and be like she needs to show this and she needs to be more, like they were just going in about her and just saying that she doesn't carry herself well and this and that. And
to her eventually, you can see like that would
just that judgmental stuff. It's like
that church crowd's a motherfucker. You remember the Clark sisters when they performed at the Grammys? They're fully covered with like gowns down to their ankles, basically. Yeah, but that church crowd, because it was a secular event. They talk shit about. Because I watched their Unsung. Shout out TV One's Unsung. Yeah, and they had the Clark sisters episode. They talked about that, and I think what really got them is because the old lady was up there, like she was the music director of the Church of God in Christ, basically. Like, she's like the national music director of the whole church. Yeah. And she was on stage playing the piano with her daughters. It's like, yeah, so that's why, yeah, because like the Clark sisters, and she was like playing the piano with her daughters up there. And that's probably what it was when they saw her up there, like, how dare you? And so, yeah, they basically buried the Clark sisters for that performance. But they did their gospel song. They were like fully covered. All of them had they gowns like down to the ankles, like,
down to the ankle. They probably had
only skin you see is your face. Yeah,
they probably had up to here. They probably had turtleneck looking like what's it? Laura Ingalls. Yeah. What's that? Little House on the Prairie. Looking like that, probably.
Yeah, like eaves like that. Yeah, like arms.
Laura Ingalls. Right. Laura Ingalls looking like that.
I watched it. I was like, this is what the church crowd was having to fit over. I think it's because the old lady was on stage with him and like, yeah, how dare you're the national director of the Church of God in Christ. What are you doing at the Grammys? Or that kind of shit. So yeah, that's what. But that church crowd is a motherfucker.
They are like very judgmental, very, But it's like, and then the other thing is that I know Megan, like I said, I don't know if they were having some complications, but I know that Megan wanted to explore the option of becoming a mom. Like that came up that, about her wanting to, like that's not something that, because, when you do.
Women, especially women get a certain age.
When you get a certain age, and then if you've been married for so long, like if you've been married for at least 3-4 years, if you've been married at least that long and you of a certain age, you ain't kids. People say, you don't want no kids. Yeah. People start being nosy and asking you. But it's like, I don't know if she had some complications. I don't know if it was that.
Have kids, if it was fertility issues or they just didn't want them. I don't know, like what happened with that. Yeah,
but she did say that she wanted to, but that wasn't completely. That wasn't like out of it.
I'm pretty sure he wanted kids, especially if he's if you're religious, like, because that's in the Bible. Yeah,
be fruitful and multiply.
So like typically married folks like want to have some kids. Like if you're like
our granddaddy was a preacher and he had 8, so they had 8.
Most pastors people have big families.
They have big ass families. Like I said, they had 8. My grandparents.
Is a minister for our kind of guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a lot.
Most religious folks had huge families like that.
Huge families. Huge.
That's what.
I tip my hat to that. 2 was it for me. I tip my hat.
Oh, you did your part. You multiply. You were fruitful and
multiply. I multiply. I got my 2. Oh,
yeah. It didn't say how many times. It didn't say God didn't say how many times. He just said be fruitful and multiply. He didn't say how many times too. Yeah.
Girl, boy. I got my pair. Got my pair.
Certain folks can't come after you. You did your part. Me, on the other hand, that's a whole other. Then again, it's like you don't come after me. It's a whole lot more other things you can come after me for. I got church community got mad beef with me, but get canceled like Kanye after this podcast.
See the drink. See the drink I just took of
that. But I'm rooting for them. Hopefully, this is just because some couples they pull out of it. Like they start taking a nosedive, but they pull it back up. Like maybe
like rest in peace, Kobe and Vanessa worked it out.
They had filed.
They filed.
They had filed in papers, so
he was out of there. She was.
It was like Mr. Drummond. It was getting real in this bitch. Like shout out, funny or die. It was about to get.
They were about to prepare to divide assets, and then they just made a 180, and next thing I knew, then she was pregnant again. Like she was on the carpet with her butt. I was like, oh, okay. All right, okay. Another baby. Then they had another baby. It's like, okay.
So maybe
they worked it out.
Maybe Megan and Devon can pull out of this. Yeah. She still has Franklin on her social media. I'll say, I'm nosy. Yeah. So it still says Megan Good Franklin. It still has her married name on her social media. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a good sign.
Is she following him? Is she still following him?
Plus, I didn't check that yet. But I did. Like, I checked. Just say Megan.
I saw one of my friends. She unfortunately dropped her married last name on her social media. When I saw her married last name was gone, I was like, oh. And when you see that man, when you see that name go back on, I was like, oh.
Going back to Kanye, Kim's social media still says Kim Kardashian West. So yeah. So that's something. Okay. Even though lately she's been seen with Pete Davidson, I don't even know if I want to talk about, but they've been real comfortable lately.
I saw that. I saw them holding hands and
they've been real cozy. They went out to dinner. They've been real cozy.
And lately. Here's my thing.
They rolled a roller coaster together. So they've been.
Yeah, she was like that, like leaning into him and. So, but my thing is, I guess Pete Davidson, he's the whisperer.
He's a charming motherfucker. That's what I'm giving.
Like I want
to say I think he met Ariana Grande on the set of SNL.
He did because she was on SNL. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's
no offense, ladies. Like I'm not calling this, but Pete Davidson is the bad bitch whisperer. That's what he is. Like he just knows how to get bad chicks.
Davidson is like
he knows how to do it.
He's the white Joe and shit, basically. You know Joe the singer.
I want to know what turns you on. That Joe.
That dude, like
I do them for you.
Sorry, you're going through something with your man, but if you want to talk about it, I'm here. That's Pete Davidson.
You know what I call those guys? I call them Justins. He's just in case. Like every girl knows a Justin. Like, yeah, okay, we're real good friends, but you and your man start having problems. Aw.
Yeah,
y'all having problems? He's such a fool.
Just to talk. If you just want to talk,
I'm here to talk.
Just to talk. That's all. That's just Pete Davidson. Not on Colin Jones who pulled Black Widow. He pulled the ultimate SNL one, but that's a whole nother one. They got a baby too now, yes.
But hey, and that's another thing. Funny guys get like women like a sense of humor. Yeah. So get funny, dude. That's why I say, like, if you're not the most attractive, whatever, like, work on your comedy routine and you can pull some chicks.
I'll be transparent now. I was trying to get on SNL at one point. This is when I was like enrolled at Second City, and which is like Second City is like a a feeder for SNL. Like so many folks have ended up.
Dan Aykroyd went there.
Tina Fey. It's like so many of them that are SNL our Second City alums. Like so many. But that's I try because I was there and you would look at the Wall of Fame and see all those names. Like I'm gonna be up there one day. I tried to like do this, but it didn't work out.
Kevin
Hart didn't even make it. What chance did that make? And Kevin Hart auditioned like 4 times. I think he never made it. There's so many names that did get turned down from that show too. Robert Townsend didn't make it because at the time because here's what happened with Robert.
They had the one black guy already.
Talked about in Hollywood Shuffle.
One black guy.
He applied he was auditioned the same year Eddie Murphy auditioned. Obviously, Eddie was winning that one. Eddie's the fucking man.
So we got one black guy.
Got our black guy, yeah. So Townsend was bitter at that. And ironically, guess who the director for Eddie Murphy Raw was?
Robert Townsend. Yeah, so I was watching a documentary about that. Shout out Netflix. Well, they need us. I was watching that series. They need us. Yeah.
What series? I didn't see. What's the series?
They've Gotta Have Us. That's what it's called. They've Gotta Have Us on Netflix.
Okay,
it was just that they basically talking about. It started talking about like basically like the Black excellence. Like it showed like Diane Carroll was on there, stuff like that.
They had a Robert Townsend episode, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they had Robert Townsend, like basically showing how he basically he opened the door for like the Black director to do to tell our stories. To tell our stories the way we would tell our stories.
Those guys before him, he was the first to do it the way he did.
The way he did it, right? The way that if you want your story told,
and guys like that, but like he was like the one that did it the way he did.
Yeah, because he did with no money from a big thing. He did it all on his own, like no money from like Columbia, no money from Universal, no money.
I guess who the guy that put him on? Now we going down a history lesson. Shout out Eric Monti for putting him on. Another unsung hero that doesn't get his props. So Eric Monti.
He didn't even get credit in Cooley High. I got Chiefs on my team.
That one line was uncredited. Yeah, that's Cooley High is based on the life of Eric Monti about growing up in Cabrini in Chicago. The Preach character is based on Eric Monti. He wanted to be a writer. And basically it was the idea from what's happening ended up they ripped off Eric Monti. Everybody ripped off Eric Monti. It's the whole thing about, like I said, give that man his flowers.
Yeah, he needs his flowers. Him
and the original Lionel are the co-creators of Good Times. Yeah, Eric Monti and Mike Evans, which is why the youngest son on Good Times.
His name Michael Evans.
That was the original Lionel.
Nudge, wink, wink in there, right?
One of the characters after himself. Yeah. Once he had grown up in the projects in Chicago, Eric Monti. He's like,
grew up in the projects in Chicago.
And then when Eric Monti, he was from the hood in Chicago, he hitchhiked out to LA, and hustled his way onto the set of All in the Family. He was
where he had like $20, whatever he had to his name, something like that, whatever.
One of the ideas he pitched, for Mike Evans' character was he said, what if his family moves in next door to Archie and eat the Black family? Racist Archie, he had Black neighbors, which is George Louis. So Eric Monti really created Jefferson's, Good Times, and What's Happening. Basically,
give that man his flowers.
Give that man his flowers. He basically created all the black shows in the 70s were created by him, basically.
Right. He basically created the Black MCU of the Norman Lear stuff, basically.
Give that man and he's Chi-Town. That's why I want to give him his flowers. Shout out.
Cabrini. Which is now high-priced condos now. That's the way it is. It's Old Town now. High-priced condos in Old Town. That's what it is now.
That Old Town road now. We're not talking about his ass. Definitely not going to talk about his ass. But on a sad note, we got to talk about this. I know you heard about this right now.
I think I know where you're going. I don't want to blurt out, but let me see. Is it TS? Yeah. I said TS. Travis Scott was going to say, yeah.
8 dead, hundreds injured. Because of what I compared it to was a bigger version is like E2, but at a festival. They said people got trampled. Is the way.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what happened, but it's like I'm reading the description now, which it's like it says 50,000 people that were in attendance. They say
50,000 people. Damn, that's a lot of people.
He said as soon as he jumped on stage, it was like the energy took over and everything went haywire. That's what one of the people at the concert was saying. All of a sudden, you got ribs being crushed. You have somebody's arm in your neck. You're trying to breathe, but you can't. So it's crazy. Said people as young as 14 died. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
14, yeah. The age.
And that's a baby because you think about like I was 16 when I went to my first concert.
Yeah.
So like you're like thinking like, okay, yeah, it's my first concert.
Yeah, you're excited. Yeah,
you're excited.
You might be a favorite artist. You're right. Like, yeah, we going to see Travis this Friday. Yeah.
Because I think he's more so. Cause I know some people in my generation, like I said, us as you call us old ass millennials. Mm-hmm. You know, as you call us, like I saw some people my time saying like, I have no idea who this even is, and I'm like, he's not really for our generation. Not being funny. I mean, I know what's that song? Skywalker, is that the name of it?
Skywalker.
I think that's the name of it. Skywalker. I know like a couple of his stuff, but I don't really.
It probably was Antidote. That's what. Yeah. Don't you open up that window?
I know that one.
He's in an antidote. Like that was his.
I know that one. And then I'm skywalking. I know that one too. So I mean, I know like a couple of songs of his, but some people I don't even know who this is, and it's like, but this is like he wasn't for our generation. Basically, he's not.
Kanye talked about
but that's just so
before that tragedy happened, but he said Travis is part Ye, part Kid Cudi, and part French Montana. He completely said he's like probably he's a combination of us three. Yes, that's what he said, Travis.
And he's with Kylie, so that makes sense. So with Kardashian, Kardashian/Jenner. He's with Kylie. Yeah.
But yeah, it was tragic. When I saw this, and I was like, I thought the E2 tragedies from 03 that for those that don't know what I'm talking about, people got crushed to death in there.
Was it 20 some people died?
21 people got crushed to death in that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know,
and that building's still there.
Still vacant.
Because I pass it when I drive to work. When I have to go to work,
and it's still vacant. Yeah, it's
still vacant. They need to just tear it down. No one's ever going to buy that. They need to tear it down.
I wouldn't open up in there because the souls are still there. It's like, yeah.
You know, Black people, we don't play with spirits. We don't, because I feel like it's just unrest. Like I feel like, I mean, I'm not superstitious or whatever, but I feel like if you did bring a paranormal person in there, it would be a lot of activity. I feel like if you go in there and you let someone go in and
the party is still going on, basically. Yeah, it's just not with the living. A lot of people that died there, probably their souls are still there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know V-Dub was the DJ that night, DJ V-Dub. So I wasn't there that night, but I did go to that night before. Like it was Sunday night at E2. Mm-hmm. So and I've been because Sam Silk was the host of that. So I had been to that night several times before. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Sam was there when that happened. He, the host be in and out. But I know V-Dub was the DJ. I know he was there. V-Dub was there. And then they had after the incident, and it was like that's another tragedy, but that's what I thought of when I saw this. I thought, and I was like, wow. And it's like I think said over 100 people are injured now, so it's just.
And I think what just happened is like the way that they're just from what I just read in our description is, it's just like people are just so. It's like we're still. Like you have to think about, we've been locked away for almost 2 years. This pandemic has been going on for almost 2 years. And
World Fest was canceled last year. Remember that? Yeah, he didn't have it last year because nothing.
And mentally, I think mentally we're all drained, we're all fatigued, we're all anxious, like all of us, because we still don't know when the hell is this pandemic going to be over. Like none of us know when it's going to be over. It end?
That's my biggest question.
We don't know. Yeah. I mean, they say now that kids 5 to 11, the vaccination is safe now. They're saying. They approved it now. So they're trying to encourage us to get our kids vaccinated now. That's what they're trying to encourage.
Signed his vax mandate saying that like businesses, even private businesses like have over 100 employees, like you gotta be vaccinated or weekly test, something like that. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
And then the only caveat. The only caveat that makes you excluded is if you have the religious waiver or if you have the medically, because some medical conditions you can't get the vaccine.
You might have an allergy to the vaccine. Yeah. So you would be exempt from that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the two waivers, the religious or the medical waiver. You have two waivers that you can get.
Like some religions don't even do vaccine. I know like Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't do anything. So they don't get vaccinated. It's like certain religions.
But that's what I just feel like that's what happened, because it's like just that. And I said, we're all just very anxious. We're all very, it's just a lot. So then you finally get like, oh, we're free. It's like, we're out. It's just kind of like that. And then that's what happened. Is like, that's why you got 50,000 people. I'm sure that even in an outdoor space, 50,000 people, it wasn't enough where, like, if it's 50,000 people, you still need this much, like, arms length between. Like, you need to be able to put your arms out and not and have that much
when
space.
Travis hits the stage like a big artist like that, what's the first thing you're gonna do? He's trying to push towards the stage.
You're gonna run toward the stage, and then
it's like normally you might be fine. Like, hey, we chilling, we got our but like y'all coming again, like, oh, Travis again, you gonna like start rushing towards the stage. So yeah. And that's the thing a lot of times with these festivals, because at these outdoor festivals is no seating there. So like that can happen.
It's not.
Whether if you go to a concert, it's seating, unless people just like rush the stage, like just
right.
If you're gonna be in your seat or around your seat at least.
Right.
But these venues, like, it's nothing. Just everybody is just like a mosh.
It's no barriers. It's no, like I said, like for it to be safer, you do have to, like, if you can do like this with even if you can just do like this with your arms, like just have it like partially.
Yeah, you could be like, I got the concert, like for example, like Soldier Field. Like I'm sure it was more than 50,000 people at like On the Run, for example, because that's a huge venue. Soldier Field. Oh, we went to the Donda Experience.
The Donda, we went there.
So it's a huge venue. But with those, it's like you're gonna be like either in your seat or around your seat.
Around your seat.
You're gonna be like near your seat. They're like the cheap motherfuckers they're gonna try to sneak down and they blocking the aisle, but that's the ones but people that are like, you know what I'm saying? It's always the people that bought nosebleeds, but then you see them down here trying to sneak. And
then security is gonna be like, hey, get your ass back.
Why they have wristband. You ain't got a wristband, you can't come down. That's why they start the whole wristband thing. People say, like, if I got tickets, what I need a wristband for that. Everybody has tickets, but in order to get down to 100, you got to have a wristband.
At the United States, they check you like 3-4 times at the United States before they let you back in the 100 level. Like, you go out and go to the bathroom, you come back, you have to show your stuff back to the person standing there. Because, like, I just went to the bathroom, but you still have to show, like, hey, because you just can't go in the 100 level if you ain't got 100 level tickets at the United Center. You can't.
The suites as well too at the United Center.
The suites too, because we were in the suite. They'll be like, "Hey,
elevator to that motherfucker." You
can't. They check you like 4 times.
Get in the elevator without having that.
They checked us like 4 times. Yeah, because they was like, "Okay, where's your wrist?" Because Marcus and I were like, "Wristband."
They have like the person going in the elevator. They got somebody coming out of the elevator checking. It's like multiple times. Like,
they check you like 4 times.
Like by your suite, I think it's another person up there.
I remember when you described me, you was like, you don't go. You say it's not the typical. You say it's like 4A or whatever the gate was. It was like an A or B behind it. It wasn't like just the gate 4.
7A. Like
it was like gate 4A, gate 4B, something like that. Because he was like, go in this gate. And I was like, I've never been in this gate before. He's like, oh, this is where the suites are. Okay. No wonder why I never went in it. But I bet you up there. But yeah, that's what I think happened, is that just the excitement of it all.
And then when he hit the stage, it's like, oh, and then everybody just started rushing.
Ran in.
Because they said he kept performing at first, but in his defense, like, you can't see what's going on.
You can't see what's going on.
He was trying to say like people are dying. He just kept performing like he didn't know. And nobody told him, like, hey, like motherfuckers are getting crushed. Just end the show. Like nobody.
It's 50. You should think of it. It's 50,000. So it's a sea of people. It's 50,000 people.
It looks like people are just partying, like, but they really like getting crushed to death. Yeah. It looks
and then you think about I mean, like you've been on stage before. I've been on stage before and performed. Those lights are bright as hell, and a lot of times you can't even really see the audience. Like I said,
lights are bright as hell, but the lights are only on the stage. Like
and they're on you can't see nothing.
Black,
The audience is black. Like I said, like from all my years performing,
is maybe like the first row or two past.
You can see the first row. Everything else is just silhouettes. It's just black. It's just silhouettes. You can't even see. And like I said, that's like the illusion that they give you, because if you are a person where you have some stage fright, they want you to feel like, just pretend like you're on stage by yourself and no one is here, to get over your fear of performing. Because it's like, if you think about I'm performing in front of 50,000 people. Oh shit, it might be.
That's what they told. That's what they told me in radio as well too when I first started. It's like it's not especially in Chicago. You don't have 1 million people listening. It's just really you and that microphone. That's all they got.
Exactly.
Think about it like that. And this mic. That's all. Yeah, I'm talking to this mic. I'm not thinking about 1 million people listening. Just me.
1 million people are listening.
That's what. Yeah. That's
so you perform on stage. Even if you perform in front of 300 people, like that's a lot to some people. 300, like 300. All these eyes looking at you, like it's like, oh, what the hell, But like I said, in his defense, like he probably couldn't see anything. I said those lights are bright as hell. So.
And it was at nighttime, so yeah, it's bright lights and the crowd is dark. You can't see what's going on.
Yeah, he couldn't see nothing, so it wasn't that. And I did
criticize that he kept performing, but he probably didn't know. Like he was.
And I did see his statement. Like he feels awful. I saw Kylie's statement. She feels awful. Like they feel terrible about what happened.
Kylie was there.
Yeah, because she was talking about it, like she felt, like the families. Like you think about a 14-year-old lost their life. That's someone's baby. That's a baby.
So that's a baby. High school. Think about that. Yeah.
Because I'm sure like his first his or her, I'm not sure girl or boy, but their first concert. I'm sure that was their first concert ever at 14. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. It's my favorite. Mom, Dad, please give me tickets. I really want to go. Please.
Travis is my favorite artist. Yeah.
I've been really good. Like the report cards are coming out now. I got good grades. I'm doing really good.
They'll say it could have been an early Christmas gift. It's like,
like anything. Like I said, or report cards are out. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just awful. I mean, like prayers to all the families affected by it. Like,
yeah. When I saw
that, I hope that they do so. I hope somebody starts a GoFundMe for the families. So it's like I hope that's something
money raised. Yeah,
I hope it's something raised for the families because that definitely you don't go to a concert expecting to die. I'm not being mean when I say that.
Never come home right. You go to a concert. You just. They said we just went to Donda.
We went to Donda
months ago, whatever that was. Like we just
in August. Yeah, we went to Donda.
We just went to, and it's a big crowd. Like I said, we just went to an event. I can't imagine just like something crazy happening. Like and we not new. It comes full circle. We're gonna wrap it up with Donda talking about Kanye. So once again, but thoughts and prayers to those lost at Astroworld Fest. To wrap up, not another damn podcast. Definitely appreciate you. A lot of stuff we didn't get to, but it's time to wrap. I think we went long enough. We even talk about Aaron Rodgers and what. Listen to the Pat McAfee podcast if you want to hear what Aaron Rodgers had to say. Very good listen. I also listen to that podcast too. Yeah. Listen to the Pat McAfee podcast, and we'll leave that alone. Yeah. But definitely appreciate you supporting not another damn podcast. If you want to support us further, I had to lift it up a little bit because we got down. I had to lift our spirits back up. You want to support us? Give us a like, lift your thumb, and hit that like button. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review on all your platforms. I'm talking Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Hey, girl.
Amazon on your Alexa, and you can get at us on YouTube. A little something like. There it is. And follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well. You know how to reach me.
And you can check me out, MSIMA8626 on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULLEY1 on Twitter, STR8GULLEY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We will talk to you later.
Bye.
I'm gone.